Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this new and hopefully a little bit improved Dark Souls 1 Hitless guide. Where I'm going to start the video in just a second, where we go through half of Dark Souls 2 on this episode, on the other half on the second episode, and I will commentate along the entirety of the run basically, and give you guys some insights on what you have to look out for on these hitless runs we're doing on stream. There will be a section for leveled guides, and there will be a section for level 1 guides. Maybe we'll dive a little bit further into the mix of hitless running with pyromancy, or maybe sorcerer's guides or something like that. But for now, let it be known, I'll try to make it a 2-episode thing for every single run. And we're going to start right away with Dark Souls 1. And on top I have to mention, these will be edited. So if you see me picking up an item, there will be a pop-up on the screen what this item does. And yeah, basically every item picked up in these runs is necessary. I hope you enjoy, I hope it helps, and here we go. So as you start, you pick the warrior class, the master key to open the doors, and the rest is up to you. Obviously, what you want to do is the warrior class. I'm gonna go for the halberd build on the warrior class. That's why I picked this. That's why I picked this class. It has enough strength to wield the halberd, and I don't have to level up any more strength to wield the halberd early on in the run. That's why I do it. First and foremost, there's not much to say. You just run up all the way to the ladder, climb up the ladder, go for the door, and then unequip everything you have, basically, because you don't need the broken straight sword, and you don't need the armor set as well, because you want fast roll. And what we're having right now is like mid or fat roll even, I believe. So unequip the shit, open the door, and then run to the left, where there's this door opening. You run into it, and then we do a little bit of a loop around while the boss dropped down there, like the Asylum Demon. Also, I got to mention, while we kill this first hollow, I gotta mention that I will not go into depth when it comes down to boss fights. I will commentate along the fight, but there is much more to learn about these fights. Please, what I would recommend is, please make yourself a save game. And then, with these save games, you can practice the fights over and over again. Boss fights like the Asylum Demon might be like explained really quickly, but if I were to go into an ONS like video and I had to explain everything that could potentially happen in ONS, it's just like it would, you know, it's just too big of a hassle in a long guide video basically for the entire run explanation. So you kill that hollow. Be careful, these hollows are dangerous. Or you kill both of these hollows, the bow hollow and this one. Then you like lure these guys over here and you kill them like that. You can kill them with R1 attacks. You don't need R2 attacks at all. Take care of that guy, of course. The moment you touch the fog wall, he can't hit you any longer. And what you want to do now is like just drop down an R1 for the plunging attack. And then you roll behind him. The most important thing is you want to be behind the Asylum Demon, okay? When he starts flying, you just go away a little, and then you run behind him again, immediately, because he usually does these attacks, or flying attacks, and you can just, you know, wait for him to do it, walk to the other side, and then just hit him from behind and kill him slowly, yet surely. Get the key, you open the door. You also get some humanity. You need this humanity later on in the run. So keep it, okay, it's important. Everything we pick up, as I said, is important. Pick up that soul. And then go for the travel sequence. All the way over to Lordran. You're now at Firelink Shrine, and you need to pick up some items here. Is humanity. And you run over here and pick up some fire bombs. I'm not quite sure if we should speed up these sections, if it would be like better to speed them up, or if you could also just skip parts of it if you wanted to. I'm not quite sure if it's necessary to speed it up, but I will definitely not pause it. So pick up this soul, Then you jump like this. And you need to open 2 chests here. First one you'll find Homeward Bones. And the second one you will find the talismans. Lloyd's talismans, exactly. You pick those up for later. I will get to it as soon as we're in Sen's Fortress. Then you run all the way around here, next to the crow. And you will now pick up a last soul. And then you are about to head off to towards the blacksmith, because that's our next destination. We need to go to the blacksmith, Andre. And what you want to do is, that's why we picked the master key. We need to open a door in a moment. First you go all the way down here. While this lift goes down, you can pop the souls. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, 1. And you can pop the humanity as well. You want to pop the humanity here, because humanity does one special thing for you. And that is drop luck. Like, we want to get a blossom later, killing some trees. So what you want is a little bit better drop luck. That's why we use the humanity here. So, as you can see, we picked up 1 soul. This is the door you can only open with the master key. And you want to go to the Valley of Drakes early. That's why we picked the master key. Another soul here, exactly. And then you cross the bridge. And there's the gigantic dragon. An undead dragon or something, I don't know. Do not pick up the item you see right here. If you were to pick this one up, the dragon wakes up and fucks you over. You can pick up this one. This is the Proud Knight Soul. That's pretty dope. As I said, there will be like a pop-up or something within the guides now, and it shows you how many souls it exactly is. I'm not quite sure what count of souls you get from these souls we pick up. But as I said, everything will be explained within the guide. I hope that these get a little bit more informative and a little bit better. And that it's, you know, something a lot of people can learn. And, yeah, that it helps. That's the intention here. So you run all the way past these dragons. The first dragon we passed, he has 2 patterns. Either he shoots straight into your face, or he shoots like a left to right pattern. And you have to run it differently. But you'll figure that out. It's only 2 different attacks, and you will definitely figure that out. While you get into that lift, pop the souls, as I did. And here's one very important thing. Sit down at this bonfire. Dark Souls 1 works in a way that you only port back to the bonfire you sat down the last time. Okay, so this is the bonfire where we end up when we were to use a Homeward Bone. And what we're doing right now is like a cool strategy. We let this knight reset. Like, you lure him out and then you let him reset and then you do this jump. It's a super easy jump. Just do it exactly as I just did it. It's very, very easy. And this knight will suicide. And then you get 1800. Sometimes you get the Black Knight Halberd. If you get the Black Knight Halberd, you can decide to run with the Black Knight Halberd. But I usually don't do it because it's drop luck and I don't mind running with like the normal and then the Crystal Halberd. So what you want to do now is pick up the Grass Crest Shield. And we're doing a new strategy now from Gino Machino. He invented it. We used to run the Dragon Ladder. It's called the Dragon Ladder. You'll see it in just a moment. And when you climb it, you could get hit by lightning. Because there's one dragon right next to the ladder and he would turn around and shoot you. And sometimes the lightning just crawls up the ladder itself and then it hits you and you can't obviously dodge it while climbing the ladder. But there's a new strategy. It's pretty precise, but it's not too hard to learn. It's like 2 arrow shots and you turn that dragon around and then it will always follow up with a flying attack. Either it does bite into flying attack or a bite only, and that gives you enough time to climb the ladder. So you run all the way back to the lift, and while the lift goes down, you equip the bow, and you equip some arrows on top, some feather arrows. You wait until you're down there, and then the precise part begins, basically. You just walk all the way over here and make sure that you're behind that pillar, and this dragon at the ladder, at the very ladder, cannot see you. You shoot roughly like this, and then you walk up like this, and as soon as the dragon turns, you slowly walk forward like this, and you shoot again around here, and then you start running, and the dragon will turn around immediately. And this gives you enough time now to run all the way over there. So what you get now is this dragon shooting lightning and these two dragons shooting lightning. And then the dragon right next to you will... Here he side jumps, but now he should do a flying attack. There you go. And that gives you like enough time to climb the ladder. And like I have not gotten hit doing this, and I have done it quite a bit already. And I think it's the same for Gino. He has not gotten hit doing it as well. This seems to completely eradicate all the RNG here. So this is one of the coolest strats, I would say, that makes the Dark Souls 1 run even more consistent. Yeah, what you pick up there is the red tear stone ring. Very important ring. It gives you a 50% plus damage boost when you're on low HP. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to set up this red tear stone ring and kill a lizard as well. Because what we want on this run is some titanite chunks. I'm going to explain why we want those titanite chunks later in the run as well. And this guy can drop by chance. And this is basically an extra titanite chunk if you get it. Sometimes you don't get it, but if you don't get it, that's also okay. There, he dropped it. Titanite chunk is to upgrade your crystal halberd. So, and you drop like I drop here. And then you will set up red tear stone the most efficient way. It's like a really quick drop method. You run all the way back up and then drop twice again. The last drop you do is important. You have to do it with a jump. Otherwise you will not set up red tear stone properly. Like this jump, boom, and then you got red tear stone. You can see this red glow around your character. That is the red tear stone setup. I will probably also structure this in like sections, so you can jump to the section where you want to go. And yeah, if you have any suggestions how to make this even like better, more informative, please feel free to comment down below, you know. I want this to be really good and informative so new people can join in and have like an easy access to like good hitless guides. Yeah, you go into Darkroot Garden, then you dodge these trees. They have 3 different attacks. Yeah, you'll figure that out. And then, if you're lucky, you get like a moss drop immediately. If not, you have to kill more trees. But that's okay. There are plenty of trees. I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 6 more trees. And almost like in 95% of your runs, there will be 1 tree dropping one of those moss plums. And if not, there's also a slow setup I can talk about. Or you can, yeah, you can figure that out. But it's a little bit slower. That's why we want to get like a moss clump here. So you buy 9 of these titanite chunks. As you can see, it's like almost the entirety of our souls. And then you sit at this bonfire again, because now we're going to get our halberd. You sit at this bonfire, that is important. Do not forget about it, because otherwise you will end up on the other end of the goddamn world and you have to run it again. Which is not the worst, but, you know, it costs time. And I'm gonna say this right here. This is not the most efficient run, you can run this faster, but this is a very consistent route, and I really like running it like this. I have done it like many years, and it's working out perfectly well. You want to wait until this guy shoots once, and then you start running, because he can sometimes just snipe all the way and hits you like in the back or whatever, and if you do it like this, he won't hit you. So this is the halberd you pick up, and then you go to a safe spot. Like this time it would have been easy. It would have been easy for us to just port out. But if you go here, they will not be able to catch you while you port away. And then you are basically safe doing that. So then you get the halberd. You can't, as you can see, you can't wield it with like 2 hands. With 1 hand, but you can wield it with 2 hands. Then you go here and upgrade it to a +5 halberd. Boom. Which is perfect. And after you got that +5 halberd, it is time to run to Quelag. Because what we want now is we want to kill Quelag and Seathless back to back. And then we're gonna homeward bone back here and kill the gargoyles next. What we do is we use the shortcut, obviously, to Firelink Shrine, which we will need more often after Quelag is dead. And it's technically, like, it doesn't matter if you kill the gargoyles or Quelag first. On my run, like on this route, I obviously recommend killing Quelag first, because you can't wield the bow yet. And you don't have the souls to upgrade all the way to, you know, to the levels necessary or to the stats required to wield the bow. So we're gonna go for the souls, and then we have like all the souls needed to wield the bow, and it obviously also makes the gargoyles fight easier. You know? Maybe we could speed up this section, I'm not quite sure. Like, there's not much to say here other than will you go through the same door we just went through at the beginning of the run. Here, important here to note is that when you go down the first time here with that lift, you always, or not only the first time, you always want to send this lift back up. I had it happen to me that I forgot to send it back up, and I was just talking to chat or whatever, and just running and running and running, and then I fell down the shaft. That can happen. So, to avoid that happening, send it back up every single time, and then you will be safe, you know? Now you go, obviously, into Blighttown, because we want to kill Quelag. There are these, like, golem Blighttown ogre thingies here. They have a quick attack. You have to be careful. Sometimes you have to roll twice. This is a slow attack. This is the quick attack right here. And you have to roll only the quick attack. Other than that, you can just sprint past them. But be careful for that quick attack. Also, the first two can double quick attack, and then you have to roll twice, which is the nastiest RNG. Go down here like I do. Just drop, drop, roll, roll, drop again, roll, and then you can immediately drop here on the wheel. Boom. And then you just like block in between all the time. The reason you block in between is there's something called a stored roll on Dark Souls. So if you spam the roll button, sometimes your character has a stored roll, and then it rolls randomly again. Yeah, because it's stored in the cache or whatever. You just want to remove it by blocking. So you can just roll past this motherfucker. And now you can see you are poisoned, and this purple moss clump is to get rid of the poison. And we do that after our tears are activated. Environmental damage does not count as a hit. If you were to be poisoned by an enemy, that would count as a hit. But environmental damage does not. So, Quelag's domain. You go and run all the way to the fog wall and enter the fight immediately with the Booba Queen Quelag. Enjoy. I can talk a little bit about the fight. Quelag is a fairly easy boss fight. There are some nasty RNG on this fight as well. The jumping attacks, I would say. But if you get decent RNG, you will kill her really quick because you have already a lot of damage. As you can see, boom. Running attack to her side when she does the spray. Like, she has two different spray attacks. A quick one and this slow one. And when she turns like that, you can also hit her once. And sometimes you also, you know, actually hit her, not like I. So you can hit her after the stomp as well. Because the good thing about the halberd is just the range, you know. Running attack again, that's the quick shot. And you wait for the turn, you hit her again, boom. That's the slow shot, perfect RNG. Boom, boom. Spinning attack, wait for the turn. Oh, dead. That's it. That was really good RNG. Sometimes you get a little worse RNG, but Quelag is a fight you will learn relatively quickly, and it shouldn't be a problem at all. As I said, make yourself save games and practice these boss fights. If you want to achieve a hitless run, you obviously have to be able to deal with, yeah, almost whatever RNG you get. You will be able to learn Quelag relatively quickly. Do not forget about ringing this bell. Very important, okay? Do not forget about it. Otherwise you have to come back down again. Because we won't come back down again before Sen's Fortress. And also do not sit at any bonfires down here. Otherwise you have to climb back up Blighttown. And climbing Blighttown is significantly more difficult than going down. So be careful to not sit down at a bonfire. Now we're gonna kill Seathless. And Seathless is more or less like a cheese, I would say. Like, it's not a cheese. I think it's implemented into the game as like a lore thing or something. And you can, yeah, just run to the very end of the arena again after starting the fight. And then, yeah, you'll see what happens. You will just do a leapy attack and you don't even have to roll it. And then you can just kill him for free, basically. So what you do right now is you run all the way to the end of this. And then you will pick up the armor set of his sister, I believe. It's one of the Izalith sisters. And I think this is also an Izalith guy. I'm not quite sure. You pick up the armor. And then the fight will immediately start, because he doesn't want you to pick it up. Boom. So you wait for this attack to happen, right here, and then you run past him. But you have to wait for this attack. It will damage you if you run immediately, okay? So do not run immediately. You can also not redo this cheese. The moment you die here, you have to either fight him straight up, or you have to restart the run. Like, even if you were to go for a PB. You run all the way to the end of the arena, as I said. And then he will try to follow you, because he wants the armor set back or something. I'm not 100% sure. And then you are able to just, like, kill him for free. Just wait at the fog wall. You can also roll if the moment he jumps. If you want to, just for safety reasons. But I think I've never gotten hit just standing here. You know? And now you just hit him. You can unequip the halberd if you want to make this a little quicker, because it's not about the damage you do, it's only about the amount of hits you do to him. Boom. Then he drops and dies and gives you 20k souls, which is great. It's a lot of souls at the beginning of the game for basically doing nothing, you know. We got another humanity and another homeward bone, which is absolutely amazing. And then you wait and pop Krellak's soul, and then you have 28k. Plus 28k, and then you bone all the way back to Andre. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. And now it's a little bit of a level up situation. I wasn't quite sure what to level up, because I didn't do this run in a long time. So I just leveled like 15, 16, and then I got like 25 or something, I believe, because I didn't want to over level myself. I wasn't 100% sure, but it's like you need 16 strength to one-hand the halberd. So that's what you need in strength. And then you can pump the rest into dexterity after you buy some shit down here. Do not forget about this, okay? This is important. You purchase now a weaponsmith box that allows you to upgrade your weapons at any bonfire. And then you purchase like, I don't know, 150 to 200 arrows. It doesn't have to be like a specific amount. It depends however many you need for your run. If you're good with the bow, you probably only need 150. Some people buy 200. It's not that big of an investment. It might be, you know, that you need to level one level less or whatever, which is not that big of a deal. You pick up the bow. Now you can use it, as you can see. And then you kill these hollows over here. What you can do is you just run in. Sometimes this guy will shoot, and then you can just outrun the arrow. And if he doesn't shoot like this, you can just like do a running attack and kill it. Same for this guy. After he attacks, you just do a running attack and kill it. And here again, boom, running attack, Deje. These are super easy to kill. But then you kill this dude, You wait for him to attack. Don't go in now. Wait until he slams, and then you go in. Otherwise, you can follow up his attack. And when he drinks, obviously, you finish him off. You need 2 running attacks to kill him as well. Pick up the Firekeeper Soul. The reason why you pick up the Firekeeper Soul is that it gives you 5 humanity. And as I said, we need all the humanity we can get by the end of this run. And now you use the lift again to set up a red tear stone ring. You roll out of the lift here. Boom. You jump further down. And what I like to do is I like to jump here and then go all the way around and drop down. And then you almost have red tear stone set up already. We need like 1 little drop, and we can do that right next to the lift. And then we got a red tear stone set up. Boom. Here we go. Perfect. And back up. Now we shoot some enemies, and then we will fight the gargoyles. There's just like, it's just so packed with enemies, this chapel, that you have to be careful. And it's packed with these deadly fucking hollows, you know. They are so dangerous. So you really want to have a bow here, if possible somehow. You want to shoot these down below here as well. And I made a mistake here, but it's not that big of a deal. I wasn't close enough to the second one. Well, like I shot him from all the way over here. What you want to do is go a little bit closer, and then you one-shot him. I wasn't close enough, but that is not that big of a deal. You can just like run away and wait for him to, you know, come all the way, and then you can just like chip him down like this if you wanted to. Or make him attack like this, and then you can just, you know, shoot him again. And boom, there you go. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but if you go a little closer, you get more damage, like the closer you are, and then you will be able to kill them immediately. Then you shoot this guy, once in the head, and then another time in the chest, and he's gone as well. And then you shoot this hollow up here. That's the most important one to shoot, because this guy is the trigger. Like, if you go too close to this one, all the hollows will trigger. I don't know why it's only connected to this guy, but that's important. Kill this guy. And then you will be able to shoot other hollows in that room without triggering them. You go here. And go a little further. And then you can shoot this guy, because the trigger hollow is dead already. Boom. And now you can decide if you want to shoot these guys in here, just for safety. They will not aggro, even if you go further into the room. But why not shoot them, right? What you want to do now is roll into this bench. I didn't do this in a while, so it took me a moment to figure it out. You want to roll into this bench so you have a better angle. You know, that's basically it. For a moment I thought I used firebombs, but it's way easier to just roll into this bench, walk all the way up to the other bench, and then you can just shoot him. And then you go all the way to the other side, and then you can shoot this guy up there. I decided to kill this guy. I kind of was worried for whatever reason. There are still more hollows. Boom. And then you have all the hollows in your way killed. There are 2 more, but they won't trigger as well. And then you have the way to the gargoyles secured. You go into the fight. I tried to do like a cool gargoyle method where you throw a firebomb and roll into the fight, but it didn't work. Like, there is a method where you just line up and then throw a firebomb, roll into the fight. You will hit the tail and it staggers towards you, but I fucked it up. But it doesn't matter. If you fuck it up, it doesn't matter much. Just go into the fight. What you want to do is 1 attack on the first gargoyle, and then you want a tail cut. So when it attacks again, you tail cut, and then you just R2. Boom. Get the spinning attack with an R2 and you kill the gargoyle immediately. This guy does almost always a fire attack, or you wait for a fire attack, which he almost always does at the beginning, and then you just R2 again and you kill the gargoyles. There you go. I told you it's an easier fight, but I would definitely make a save game for those, because the gargoyles can give you some bad RNG, and if you fuck it up a little bit, you have to fight both, and then, you know, you're in a little bit of of a difficult situation. So you climb all the way up, get the second bell. That's basically why we're here. Because the gargoyles, unfortunately, do not drop many souls. It's like 10,000, I believe. And then you go down again. Like this. And you can, now that you drank up your Estus, you can also fall down here if you want to. And what you want to do here is buy some Homeward Bones. I usually buy like 6 or 7 Homeward Bones and the Ring of Sacrifices. Because we need that later. And the Homeward Bones we also need for the rest of the run. Then you bone out and you're back right at Sen's Fortress. Or next to Sen's Fortress in the Undead Parish. You level up to like 30 Dexterity. Andre will die in this run. Okay, like we will kill Andre in this run. Because we need the Crest of Vitorias. You can kill him now, but I decided to kill him later. Because you don't need to kill him now. It's not necessary. We have to come here back anyways. Sen's Fortress, this is called the Fast Sense. You just run it like I run it. It's almost always the same RNG. You run against the first like swinging thing and then you just run through. And you can just run past this snack enemy. You regain some stamina here on the stairs and then you roll this attack and then you just run through, trigger this trap so the snack gets hit by the trap. Then you wait here for a moment. And this snack will be rolled over by the ball. Like by this like gigantic, you know, stone ball boulder, sorry. You run through, you activate this trap, but you can just sprint to the left and immediately outspace it basically. You drop down here, there will be a boulder behind you as well, but you can just immediately run in here and you're basically safe. What you want to do now is, you want to be in that position here. Sometimes there's like one of these snack enemies following you and they can come in here and then you have to fight them in this like space, you know, you don't have enough like room to fight them here. There's a mimic, so you don't want to fight them here. That's why you stand there so it will turn around and just walk away. What we do now is we use the Lloyd talismans to sleep the mimic over and over again, and you hit it twice after you slept it, every single time. What we do is, after you sleep it, you go to the front of the mimic and press the X button a couple of times, because sometimes it drops an item. And what we need is the symbol of Avarice, which is basically the mimic head. It lowers your HP bar and it helps us to set up Red Tear Stone Ring. It also gives you a significant soul boost after you set it onto your head after a boss fight. So if you kill ONS, for example, later, and you equip the mimic head after the fight, then you get more souls. It's not necessary, but you can do it if you want. We didn't get it here, but the more often you sleep or kill a mimic, the chances of the drop is higher, and at like I believe 6 sleeps / mimic kills, you get it all the time. Like it is guaranteed to get it. You want to unequip your bow here, because what you now need is a bare fist slap. So unequip the bow, swap back to the bare fist, and then you wait for these pendulums to swing to the right side, and then you start running. You start running over here, running up the stairs, and then you slap this snack into the face. Sometimes the snackaroo like runs towards you, and then you just keep running to the left. Okay? There's 3 types of RNG. Sometimes it spell casts, slap it. When it screams, slap it. And when it runs towards you, just run to the left, and then it will jump next to you and will miss you. You pick up the Soul of a Brave Warrior here. That's a ton of souls. Drop down, roll a little bit away. Sometimes there's a snack following you and you don't want it to drop on you. Then you go further back and you sit down. You can use the soul now you just picked up if you want, because it gives you like a ton of souls, I believe. Yeah, 8k, there you see. And what we want to do now is we want to get the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring, which helps us which helps us to mute our steps. Like when you use this ring, whatever you do, action can't be heard by enemies. Like they can't hear you any longer. They can still see you, of course, but they can't hear you. You want to hit one bow shot there because there's another snack, and now they start patrolling, and they will eventually fall off. Like both of them will just fall off. Like the moment it drops down like this, you're good to go. You just run all the way to this item over there, which is the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. And there will be a pop-up, as I said, and it shows exactly, boom, Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. This is what it does. Yeah, you port back up to the Sense Fortress bonfire. And then it's time to set up Red Tearstone ring for the Golem fight. The Golem fight is fairly easy. You don't need, you don't need much practice for this one, but yet again, make it a safe game, guys. It's just better to have these safe games. You just drop to the right like this twice, and then you got Red Tearstone set up. That's all you got to do. Run it back, drop again, and then you got Red Tearstone set up. There might be a little bit of a cut in the video, because, I just had to do something else. I don't know if you even noticed, but there might be a little cut in the video. There will also be a cut in not in Sense Fortress, I'm sorry, in Anor Londo, because of the ONS fight, but I will give you a clean fight. We will talk about it in a little bit, but ONS is super difficult, and you have to practice it a lot. Like, I did ONS for years and years and years, and I still get hit on those guys. Like, you just end up in positions sometimes where it's almost impossible to, get out of hitless. And you navigate yourself into these situations without even knowing sometimes. So what you want to do here is just sprint all the way. There's one guy with a crossbow shooting at you here. You just want for him to shoot, and then you sprint and like run attack him, and that's it. After you did so, you come up here, you wait for this golem to walk towards you. Usually it attacks, like this. You go back down and it attacks. And then you wait for it to, calm down again, and you go back up. And what you want is this attack right here. When he starts stomping and said, "Urgh, urgh." Now he's like slamming a couple of times, and then he's exhausted. And the moment he's exhausted, you can just like hit him, and kill him. You get a guaranteed Titanite chunk drop here, which is good for our Crystal Halberd. You can also shoot him from, like, if you go to the right here, there's like a little bit of a bridge, and you can shoot him from there. So this fight is super easy. You just run to the left. He will always open with this attack, and he'll shoot into this, like, into these stones. And then you hit him like once or even twice here. And after the second hit into the same foot, he will start like staggering like this. And then you can just like hit him and he will fall off. And then you just like unload into the guy as good as you can. Just hit him with some R1s. And as you notice, like he staggered with the right foot. If you hit him into the left foot again now, he'll stagger again. And then, he will fall over again. And then you can just kill him in the dig. If you want to. You don't have to kill him in the dig, but, kind of tradition. You fly all the way to Anor Londo. Get your humanity and some souls. And you also get the soul of the Iron Golem, which is worth a ton of souls, I believe. You really need this. As you could see, we got like, I don't know, 40k? I think 40k plus the soul of the Iron Golem, which is again like 20k or something. It's a shit ton. So, and now, this is the most important mimic we have to kill all the way behind those two guys. This mimic drops the Crystal Halberd. The Crystal Halberd is ridiculously strong. It is the weapon we're going to go through the rest of the run. And the reason we pick up the Titanite chunks is you cannot repair this weapon. That's kind of the catch. They're super strong, but you cannot repair this weapon. Like, you always want to dodge one attack and then poke it once, and you need like 3 pokes, and then you got the Mimic. You obviously want to do this while Red Tearstone is still active, so you only need 3 pokes. And this is the Crystal Halberd. It's ridiculously strong, and you cannot repair it. So the only way to repair it is to upgrade the weapon. And that's why we have the Titanite chunks, to upgrade this weapon throughout the run so it doesn't break. You know, you can either like know when you have to upgrade it roughly, because it doesn't break like quickly or anything, but you either have to know, or you check yourself. There's a durability check, and you can just like look it up and then see when you have to upgrade it. I know roughly when I want to upgrade it, so I usually don't check the durability of the weapon. And what you want to do here is drop like this, and then you can either like go back up and drop again, roughly like this, to get Red Tearstone, or you use like the stairs to get Red Tearstone. That was a Monka W drop, not gonna lie, but it worked out, luckily. You just get a feeling for it at some point, you know? And what you want to do now is you want to... Like, usually, this is the kind of Red Tearstone setup I'm a little bit concerned about, because there are some drops we have to do, and if you do it wrong, you can get another little bit of damage, and it might kill you if you have a Red Tearstone like this. But I was deliberately, you know, careful. So you gotta roll over here on that balcony, and then you go in here, you wait for this guy to drop down, you kill him, and then you shoot this dude. If you're a little closer, you can also headshot him and kill him immediately. If you don't kill him with the headshot, you can either shoot him again, try to shoot him again, or you just go over here, and he will slowly walk out of the window here, which gives you the opportunity to just poke him once, and then he's dead anyways. Like, these guys are technically not a problem. See, boom, dead. And then you go and climb up this ladder right here. Doing something real quick. You climb up this ladder right here, and then you have another, like, 3 of these ninja boys. You just shoot roughly here, and then this guy will, like, hear it and starts walking towards it and suicides himself. The next one over there, you just walk all the way to this spot right here, and then you shoot him in the head, and he will fall off. Boom. And the last one is also shot against the wall, and he will suicide himself as well. Boom shakalaka. So you carefully navigate this situation on the rafters, and then you slide down, and you pass through this fog wall. And what you want to do now is, there's a gargoyle to your right and there's a gargoyle to your left. Do not hit the lever right away, okay? Like, do not lower the staircase. You want to kill that gargoyle. Like this one that just triggered. You're gonna go all the way down here, and you start shooting it from down below here. Boom. And you have to shoot it a couple of times. You can also go a little closer if you want to make more damage. This is just not the most efficient way to do it, I guess, because I'm not used to this run any longer. On my level 1 runs, I use fire bombs here, which is a little bit different. But we're gonna get to it as soon as I'm like the level 1 guides. So you get the gargoyle done, pick up the 2.5k for free, and then you can lower the stairs. Oh yeah, no, I decided to make it a little bit of a new Red Tearstone setup here, because yeah, I wasn't happy with this one. I thought I might, have a little bit of a problem with some of the drops I have to do next, so I wanted to do a little bit of a better setup, which I ended up doing here on the stairs, which is a little better now. It could even be a little bit more health, but it's okay. Like, you'll survive a tiny drop with this amount of health. So you turn the stairs down, and then you run where you just killed that gargoyle. And there are some of these flying demons and 2 of these golems waiting for you. Which is on a level 1 run, you now have to dodge the golem to the right. The left one will not aggro at all, but you have to dodge the golem to the right. On a run like this, you can just aim the head. Just aim the head from here. He will not aggro to you. Just shoot him in the head a couple of times and kill it, you know? And then you don't have to dodge it. You get some extra souls. And that's it. The other guy turns, but it will not follow you. And what you want to do now here is you want to jump like this and do a plunging attack. Because the plunging attack is the most reliable move in the game. And you just kill the guy with the plunging attack, of course. You lure these 2 down there. And you wait for them to walk up. Sometimes one of these guys falls off. Sometimes that's not the case. This time I was lucky and the one guy just fell off. And then you have to shoot the second one only. So you shoot the second one. Like this. Boom shakalaka. And then you run all the... Like, I drink up here. Some people don't. I drink. And then I run all the way down here. Sometimes you get like a little bit of extra damage here. So I really like to drink and, yeah, not get that extra damage. You go all the way here. And then you just... You know, wait. You just wait, because you can. Until they de-aggro. Because what follows now is a very precise thing. And I had really bad RNG here, which is not a problem, because we handled it kind of well. But what you usually want to do is, you want to listen to the right one and look at the left one, because you need the timing for the left one. When the left one starts shooting like this, you start running. The moment you reach that window here, you can't be shot from the other guy again. Usually the guy in front of you, like this guy, just suicides himself, which he didn't do here. That's super rare. If he doesn't do it, you have to dodge him here until he swaps back to the sword and then kills himself here. And then you obviously wait for this guy to shoot again. Or de-aggros, like this. And the moment it de-aggros, you just, like, run for it, you know. If you want to be really safe, you can also equip the Slumbering Ring, but you don't have to. That was terrible RNG. Usually he kills himself earlier. I would recommend a safe game here as well. The Ledge of Death is a really critical situation, and you have to figure out your own way a little bit, you know. But the moment you figure it out, you'll probably not gonna get hit here that often any longer. But it's one of the more, you know, difficult situations on this run for sure. So, now you are ready and set for the last 2 mimic kills, or the last mimic kill rather. You run all the way up here and hide behind that pillar, because sometimes it happens that this, like, knight follows you. But that's not a problem. If that's so, you just, like, walk like this, so he can't hear you, and then it will reset. Boom. And it walks back down. And the moment he's behind that pillar, you walk back to your position, and you wait for it to just walk down to its, like, you know, normal position. And as soon as you can't hear it any longer, or as soon as you can hear the knight any longer, you just go, these are all mimics. And now you want to kill this mimic with R1, R1, R2. And then there you go, you get your symbol. And what I do now is I go into the ONS boss fight to set them up, basically. Because if you bone out of the boss fight the first time, ONS boss fight, you get like a better opening situation usually, which can lead to a really quick ONS fight. I think you need 3 attacks for Ornstein to stagger. And if you have like a really good opening, you can stagger him right away and then kill him. If you have a super lucky opening. That not always happen. That doesn't always happen, but it can happen. Or you need 2 hits and then it staggers already. So you want to bone out of the ONS boss fight immediately. And now you set it up. And you go into the fight with Red Tearstone Ring. So you use the symbol here. And set up your Red Tearstone slowly. Jumping like this again to skip all the parts around ONS, like that you don't have to run all the way around. You wait for your Red Tearstone to trigger, or no, I'm sorry. You do not wait for the Red Tearstone to trigger here. You wait for a certain amount of health, and when that certain amount of health is happened, like when you lowered your health to that amount, you drop like I do in just a moment. I will explain it. And you drop like I do, and then you avoid dodging all of these like enemies down there. Because these golems have some stupid attacks, you really have to roll late. And like patiently waiting and rolling something late can be, you know, tough to do. So that amount of health is almost reached, guys. No worries. This is just a little bit of a waiting game here, but it also gives you time to, you know, mentally prepare for the hardest fight in the run. Because these 2 guys are by far the hardest fight in the run. There is nothing even close. I would even say when you do like a marathon run at some point, these 2 fights are the hardest fight in the marathon as well. So this is the amount of health you want to have. And then you trigger this guy, walk up like this a little bit. And as soon as he walks up the stairs, you roll like this and then you have Red Tearstone with the drop. And after you got the Red Tearstone ready, you go into the fight. And you start fighting ONS, right? With this opening, you roll in. And you try to hit him. If you wouldn't have, you know, jumped back, we could have hit him like once or even twice there. What you want to do here is you want to separate them. And you usually use these pillars to separate them. You know, like you want them to be apart from each other. When he does these, you can also go for a hit. Sometimes he does it 3 times. That is tough, obviously. But you need to know where Smo is at all times. You know, you need to know where both of these guys are. Because it can be... Oh, we only need 3 hits to kill him, see? And with only 3 hits to kill him, it is like significantly easier to no-hit this fight. So that's a charge attack, kill him. Be careful with Smo, of course. And then you have second phase Smo here. What you want to do for second phase Smo is I bait out certain attacks, like this one for example. You wait, you run in, you sprint attack Smo. Then you go a little bit away. This is also an attack you can punish. You run in. Like he has 2 swipe attacks. And you also can outrun this and run in and punish him like that as well. Again, you run away, run in, punish him like this. Jumping attack you can also punish. When he does that, you just roll past him and punish him. If you hit him, that would be good. Again, run in, punish him like that. Roll away from this. I don't punish this. Because he moves slightly backwards, and if you don't hit him, then he might follow up with a charge attack and kills you oftentimes. Yeah, that's ONS. You can now, if you want, you can put on the Mimic Head. I did it a little late, I believe. Otherwise, I would have gotten like a little bit more souls. But you can put on the Mimic Head and drink immediately, and then you get even more souls. You sit down at the bonfire here. And now you have to do something very, very difficult. Like first, you level up, of course. Some more dexterity if you want. Like I go almost full dexterity, maybe a little bit more strength throughout the run. But other than that, I go full dexterity. Like I used to upgrade my bow as well, but at the moment I don't do it. Because I don't see the necessity to upgrade the bow. I don't know why. Just shoot the lady, as you can see. And then You get the Lord Vassal, and now you are allowed to teleport around in this world with the Lord Vassal. You go back to Firelink Shrine and you place the Lord Vassal down below, because now the Firelink Shrine Bonfire Keeper is dead, and you need a new, like, you know, location to port to, basically, or port from, rather. So you just place the Lord Vassal here, and you got like a new bonfire, basically, here. And you just go from here. Guys, this was the first episode of the Dark Souls 1 leveled guide. I hope it helped. I hope you got all the necessary information for this part of the run. The boss fights obviously are a little cut short, but on a long guide like this, I think it's not good to go into like an in-depth boss fight as well, because there's just too much information, especially for like boss fights like ONS. The second part will follow soon, hopefully, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.